At this time, I would like to bring back up our general evaluator to help us through the evaluation portion of our meeting. So please help me welcome Peter Wayne. Everybody's busy voting.
Today we have very good 3 speeches, and it's time to get specific feedback from our evaluator. Our first evaluator is Andrew Nakamura for the icebreaker speech. Bernie Miller. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, once again, and especially to you, Bernie. Great use of the stage. For his first time, moving away from the podium and using a little bit out here and over here. For a first speaker, first icebreaker speech, that's very difficult to do. Most of icebreaker speeches land up here. They kind of use this as a crutch. For most of the speakers, I don't know if you know this, you can ask the Toastmaster to collapse this so you don't use this like here. Oh no, what's going to happen? You could actually collapse this podium so you don't use it as a crutch. That means your notes are down there. So you have to be a little bit flowy with your speech. I do like his introduction when he asked how you should present your first speech. My recommendation is there's a lot of material in there. And usually the first speech is about you. We want to learn where you came from, what your hobbies are, how you came to the US. And then you went into the 3 habits. That's already 3 speeches you're trying to condense in 4 to 6 minutes. So you have a lot of material. So be careful on that. If you have too much material, you don't have time enough to tell us perhaps a little story on your habit of reading. And you did well with the first habit, but I noticed you probably saw the timing light or the timing flags and saw that you had to rush through the meditation and the exercise. My suggestion is to, again, take one piece and use that for an entire speech. Let me tell you about my habit of reading would be one speech. Let me tell you about my habit of exercising would be a second speech. And you can pile these speeches on, giving you much more depth. And of course, make sure you have a nice introduction, a solid body, and a conclusion. The conclusion, again, was a little weak. You could repeat the 3 habits, what you enjoy about each portion of your speech. One small habit that I saw also Paulo, I think he followed you, was the hand in the pocket, right? You don't want to use this because it looks like you're like, you know, hey man, I'm just doing the speech, right? So you don't want to be like lax. This is a professional club, so you want to have your hands out, use gestures, and of course, as friends would probably point out, eye contact. A lot of times you're looking up here. I know you're trying to think, but make sure you have eye contact. Go from person to person and make that eye contact. Bring the audience in. Instead of looking down, look at the audience while you're thinking of the next thought. But great speech, very well done with the use of the stage, and I look forward to your next speeches in Words of Hope. Back to you, Mr. General.
Israel, the other will give evaluation for Paulo Badillo. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome, Jocelyn. Welcome, Andrew. Hope you guys are enjoying your time today here with us. A great hero on his knees. It was a really great speech. I really like the improvements you've made so far. You definitely improved from your previous speeches. I've noticed you're using less, you're not as nervous as before. You're more calm. Also, I like the research you did. It was really well organized. Also like the story. I actually wanted to meet this woman. It sounds like she had a really interesting life, and all the stories that she had to, she told you. I would challenge you to work on crutch works. You're definitely reducing the crutch works, but it was really obvious. And also pacing, slowing down a little bit, relaxing a little more, and pacing yourself. It seemed a little bit rushed. Also, maybe a little bit more eye contact, focusing around the room, getting people engaged. But definitely overall, it was a really great speech. I really enjoyed it, and definitely seeing you improve, and you're on a roll. You're speaking almost every week. That's truly a great sign of resilience. Right. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome, friend Roberta. Give the evaluation on Roman Lavsky.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Jocelyn, Andrew, and Marie, welcome. Please put your hands together for Roman. Roman is a resilient, improved speaker. He has a good eye contact, the body language, the body movement, left and right. And you can see the confidence he has in presenting the subject. He has good grasp of the subject matter. Of course, leadership is a very diverse subject. He displayed his preference of leadership, and he also presented to us the evaluation which he received from somebody else. Vocal variety, very good. One thing I want to suggest is your effective use of the stage, just like Andy and Alfonso explained. See, when you stand straight in here, like you get glued. Sometimes even your expression is also affected. You become more resilient when you move and then put a gesture. Another thing you want to consider is the effective use of visual aids. Because leadership, if you define them here, it will be a lot easier for the audience to absorb and probably even remember what you have displayed. Alfonso is very good on this one, on the presenting visual aids, as well as Andy. It helps us to focus our mind and easily understand the subject. So congratulations.
I would like to invite our timer, Norma, to report the speech evaluation timer for each person used. Yeah.
Our first speaker, Bernie, had a time of 5 minutes, 55 seconds. Our second speaker, Paulo, clocked in at 6 minutes, 24 seconds. Our third speaker, Roman, clocked in at 6 minutes, 27 seconds. Table topics number 1, Lisa. She did 1 minute, 24 seconds. Paulo, 1 minute, 20. Friends, 121. And Andy, 1 minute, 20 seconds. For the evaluators, Andy, evaluating Bernie, 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Israel, evaluating Paulo, 1 minute, 15 seconds. And Friends, evaluating Roman, 2 minutes, 37 seconds.
Thank you. Welcome, Karen, to report the outcome.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. report is Alfonso used the word once. Bernie, you had 5 ahs. Paulo, you had a few more than 5. You used the word of the day 3 times, and you used the phrase reading the Quran. Is it pronounced Quran? That's a
Quran. Oh, okay.
Bible?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
Bible,
uh-huh.
okay. Quran, okay. Then Roman, you used the phrase, what leader I am, maybe instead of what type of leader am I? Okay. And Israel, you used the word of the day once. And Israel, you had 3 ahs. And friends, you used the word of the day once. And Gilbert, you had 3 ahs. And I used the word of the day resilient once. And that's my report.
So, Gilbert?
Okay. Overall, everybody did a good job. Bernie and Pauline, I know because of the language translation, we have a little issue trying to word the words correctly. So, but besides that, you guys did pretty good. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters or honored guests. To be honest, this is the first time I serve as a general evaluator. It's challenging for me, and I'm enjoying the new role in the club. And also, I can tell today, Bernie have a wonderful icebreaker speech. Roman always have a very logical speech. Lisa, you always give us very surprised. You are very patient and very impressive, attractive. And also, like Andy is very dedicated to the club. Alfonso always, encourage me to move forward. So today, we really have a wonderful meeting, and I'd like to invite our Toastmaster, Alfonso, to summarize.